Alright, so it's like 6 in the morning. I got no sleep last night. I'm actually on medication right now for an allergic reaction I had. That messes with my sleep schedule, so I'm working on 0 hours of sleep. I'm like Dad, I got eye bags, but we're about to road trip to Virginia for an autocross event. It's not too long, it's about an hour and a half, which I just gotta drive there. Hopefully the car doesn't break like it did last time, and then actually had to drive an hour back home here, hour and a half, and then 3 hours back to Greenville. So the Miata is definitely going to be tested today. Hopefully it all goes smoothly, but we're going to get on the road. I'm running just a little bit late, and I'll pick up back there when we get to the event. Alright, so we made it here, and it's an absolutely crazy event. I've never been to this venue it's a big airport, but there's tons of cars, all sorts of crazy stuff, and the track is absolutely huge. I'll just walk around and show you a bit before I get registered and go through tech and everything. Also, I know a few of you have been asking to see more of this car, and also I didn't know it, but it is actually supercharged. Hopefully I'll get some footage of that car running today. Last time I get, and please forgive the bozo hairs. They're windy, and I woke up at 6 in the morning and did nothing but throw a beanie on. But as you can see, the horse is absolutely crazy. Wait for it to focus. It just goes as far as you can see, and it goes all the way over there too. Well, I'm registered and everything is good to go. I actually just got my car inspected, which it passed with ease, which is a nice change because with the E36 they're always real strict about it because, I mean, it's a sketchy car. But all I have left to do is just quickly put my numbers and class on the side of the car, which me and Ruby just got done rushing to a store that was thankfully close by because I forgot my masking tape. Amateur mistake. But I'm going to quickly do that, and then I'll walk around and show you some of the cars that are here today. I believe there's over like 100 people running this event today, so there's quite a bit of variety, a bunch of cool cars, so I'll quickly show you. I don't have too much time because they're about to announce all the run groups and everybody's going to start gridding up, but I'm just going to quickly do that. Good enough. Alright, so I've sat around and watched the first group run and actually worked the cones for the second group, which was mostly Mustangs and like Subarus, real heavy cars, so they were taking up cones constantly. I was running non-stop. It's kind of annoying. But the track is a bit tricky. You'll see when I run it. There's actually been a lot of spin outs. It's actually pretty high speed. It's kind of weird for an autocross course. It's one of the fastest ones I've ever seen. It's the fastest, in fact. But I'm going to get the car ready and then line up, and I'm probably going to have Ruby ride along at first and just use the GoPro, and then some later runs I'll get some outdoor shots.
You got luscious.
Okay, so normally I put like all my runs from the day in the videos, but I think that gets a bit repetitive, so here I'm just going to put my first run of the day in here. I'll talk a bit through it, but after that I'll just put a bunch of other clips I have from the event and everything so you can get an idea of what it's like, and then towards the end I'll upload my final run so you can sort of see a difference between the two of them, get a little comparison of how it progressed through the day. But here you can see me take off. I'm gonna try not to talk too much here. But you can see it just kicks out instantly. The car is just fighting it all day. It's constantly wanting to step out. This turn here was always real tricky. I had to shift back down to first, which is kind of weird. I took down real wide on the first run. This run I went really slow. I was real timid with it because I didn't know the course fully. It was a really big course, which is kind of difficult. But here I lost a bunch of time, or I guess just gained a bunch of time, made my run a lot slower. I was just real slow through that section. And up here, I actually thought I got confused. I thought I DNF'd right here. You can see I sort of just like, oh, what did I do? I backed off and then get back on it there. I wasn't sure. I didn't know really till like my third run if I DNF'd or not, which I did. And then here, finished the run up and time lengths are there, which I ran like a 58 or something. Alright, so I just finished up run 1 and it didn't go too well. The car was squirrelier than it's ever been. Way squirrelier than the last event. Yeah, I'm sure you can see it on the GoPro. The cars just want to skid out everywhere. I don't know if it's the stuff I've changed in the past few weeks, which haven't been really much, just a few little weight reduction things in this chassis brace. Or maybe it's just the pavement, I don't know, but I'm going to tone it down a bit for the second run. Hopefully it goes alright better. I gotta cut the time, it was that. And plus I got confused at one point. I thought it was a slalom maybe, I don't know. I just gotta trim it up. It's hot. I'm ready to go.
I think I hope it's slow.
Okay, so this was my final run of the day. I believe it was about 4 or 5 seconds quicker than my previous one, which you can really tell in video. Now, I'm not really going to talk much just because I know that can get a bit bland and boring, just hear me talk over the whole thing. So I'm just going to keep it pretty raw, keep it simple, and you can just watch and enjoy the run. And I will apologize, the GoPro angle I know isn't exactly the best. It got knocked, so it's facing a little bit downward. Well, the car didn't break down. I finished up all the runs. Really, I'm about to just drive home. It's hot. She's been out in the sun all day. I've been working the thing in the shade. She's just been sitting in a chair. This is why I married her. She's a good supporter of me and everything I do, even if she don't like it. Even if she drives a Camry. She likes race cars.
It's all about having fun.
But we're gonna get home, shower, and then I'll catch up with you then tomorrow sometime. I'm tired. Okay, so it's the next day. I got back here to Greenville at around like 2 in the morning last night. It was a ton of driving to do in one day, but the Miata did great. I believe I drove it around like 12, 13 hours on the highway, just road trips this weekend alone. Plus we're in the Autocross event, and I mean, it didn't have the slightest of issue. It just took it, no overheating, no anything. It just didn't mind, which I'm really proud about, because the car, when I first got it, seriously would break every week, if not more than that. Just something on the coolant system would blow up, the radiator hoses, everything, it leaked. It was terrible, but I believe I worked out all the kinks and it's good to go now, which I'm really happy about. It was really frustrating because it's really why I didn't like the car a bit at first. It was a good car, but I'm just rambling. I'm just gonna sit down and talk about the car, the event, how everything went, and I'll also talk about some channel stuff in the E36. I'm trying to get back to drifting in. I've been saying that forever, but I got some freshies, so I'm throwing them on the car, and the next couple days I'm going to be ripping it. Okay, so I'm going to try to not ramble too much, but you all know how I am, so no promises. And this is like the 5th or 6th time I've recorded this. It's just super windy outside today. It's killing audio, and my neighbors just love to yell constantly. It drives me nuts. But as far as the event goes, it went really well, especially as like a learning experience. It taught me a bunch about like car control and everything. The car did alright. It was really prone to like oversteer the back end, just constantly want to kick out. It did that a little bit in the last event, but it's mainly just traction issues because of the worn out LSD. But this one, it was just constantly, it was kind of frustrating at first, but I got used to it. I think it was down to just the rough like surface of the airstrip, and it was the last run group of the day, so it was like picked up gravel and just rubber just everywhere. So it wasn't the best, but a lot of it did have to do with just my driving. I just too sharp on steering. I think it's caused like drifting and stuff. I just overdrive the car a bit, so I need to like tone it back. But I did start trying to use like weight transfer more, which is the first time I really like pushed to try and like use it. Like I've known about it, but it's hard to know about something and then put it into practice. So what I would do is just like slam on the brakes, not slam on the brakes, but just stab it before a turn to get that weight over the front tires, then do it and be smoother on input, which really helped. It really cleaned up my runs and shed a bunch of times, so I'm really happy about that. Now, as far as placement goes, there was only one other car that was running in my class, which is an older guy who is seriously probably the nicest person I've met. He kills it. He's always coming in first or second in the class. He rips, and I believe even my fastest run was still like 5 or 6 seconds behind his, so I got a lot of catching up to do. But that's enough talking about the event. I don't want to talk too much. I can sit here and talk all day, and I know all of you don't really want to hear that. Now, as far as the channel goes, I'm definitely getting back to the E36. It hasn't been necessarily like neglected, but I got the Miata, so I've been working on it a bunch. I can only do like one car at a time, really. It takes a lot of time and effort to make these videos, film, and do all the work on the car and stuff. But I'm going to start working on it. I'm going to install some angle stuff. I was waiting to get spacers because if I don't, it's going to hit the frame. But I'm like, I'm just going to install it anyways, and it'll give me a better idea of like how wide I should get spacers, like an inch and a half, whatever. But it's going to be some serious poke. I'm going to have to do some cutting. It's going to be an interesting thing, and I definitely want to get back to drifting. I realize it's been forever since I posted like a real video, so I'm picking up some spares. I got some now, and I'm going to throw them in the car. I'm going to start ripping again, because lately I've just been work on both cars, not really any play, any fun. So I'm getting back to that, and I know you guys like that. It's one thing. It's nice to have some like variety, you know, like working and drifting. But that's enough for that. As always, if you enjoyed the video, and if you have any suggestions, definitely leave them, especially for these sort of videos. I think it gets a bit boring if I just use like GoPro footage, so I need some like, what do you guys want to know, really? I'm just rambling here. I said I was going to try and keep it short, but it always ends up going way too long. But I'm going to wrap it up. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, and as always, until then.